Hello everyone, back tuning into our latest Star Wars videos. So we're going to be talking about Mark Hamill again for this Star Wars video. A tweet he put out around a couple of days ago now about missed opportunities to bring back the original characters for the sequel trilogy, Han, Luke and Leia. So Mark has received a backlash about this, and we talked about this in the video yesterday. He had to issue a clarification of what he was doing. It's come to my attention that one of the people who were leading the backlash against Mark Hamill was former Star Wars writer Chuck Wendig. Now, a lot of people within the Star Wars fandom know that name, Chuck Wendig, quite well. He's a former Star Wars writer. I think he's been let go by Disney and by Marvel over his continuous tweeting. He just seems to sit on Twitter nearly all day, every day, tweeting nonsense, really. And anyway, he's been leading the charge against Mark Hamill. I'm going to talk about that in a moment. Just say that if you are enjoying the content on this channel, then please like, share, and subscribe. The channel here was dormant for around 5 years. We're just beginning to get it up and running again now. So if you're enjoying the Star Wars content, do please like, share and subscribe. We'll be happy to bring you more Star Wars content very soon. Let me know what you think in the comments. Right, so we talked about this in video yesterday. Mark Hamill tweeted this hashtag missed opportunities with a picture of Han, Luke and Leia. Tweeted this on the 26th of April. So this has been rumbling on for a couple of days. Now there's the close-up. So it's like a Photoshop picture. Somebody created it, showing what could have happened in the sequel trilogy if they'd been able to bring back Han, Luke, Leia, and Lando Calrissian in the sequel trilogy. Primarily in the Force Awakens, of course. That's where the real missed opportunity was, the first film of the sequel trilogy. I assume Mark must have seen this somewhere. He must have had it shared on his timeline. He must have thought it looked quite interesting and decided to tweet it out to his followers with the hashtag missed opportunities. This brought a huge amount of criticism in Mark Hamill's direction, and so later on he had to issue this clarification. Saw a pic of me with Billy D, Harrison and Harry, that's Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher, of course, play on those words. Posted it because I miss them, nothing more, nothing less. I love the new cast too, and didn't mean to get everyone's niggas in a twist. Maybe I should have posted a bunch of hashtag endgame spoilers instead. Hashtag relax and have fun, people. So the fact that Mark thought he had to issue a clarification, I think, speaks for itself. I mean, the tweet was very, very innocuous. There was no reason for there to be any kind of backlash about it. We know that Mark Hamill is unhappy about two things, primarily with the sequel trilogy: the development of his character in The Last Jedi. Very unhappy about the direction Rian Johnson took his character in that film. He's said it enough time in interviews. And he's also unhappy about the fact that we never got to see Han, Luke and Leia brought back into the sequel trilogy and go into an adventure as we should have done in The Force Awakens. That's primarily an issue with The Force Awakens, and would have happened based on George Lucas's original sequel trilogy drafts. In George Lucas's sequel trilogy, Han, Luke and Leia did get the opportunity to reunite and have an adventure in Episode 7 in the first film of the sequel trilogy, particularly the second half of the sequel trilogy. But one of the people who have been leading the charge against Mark Hamill for this tweet is Chuck Wendig. Now, Chuck Wendig has wrote Star Wars novels, and I think he's also wrote Star Wars comics as well. He wrote Aftermath, which is a New York Times number 4 bestseller, I think, which was released in 2015. He doesn't write Star Wars books now, though, I don't think, because there was a bust up sometime last year, towards the end of last year, about the things that Chuck was tweeting, political things. So this is what Chuck Wendig has said about Mark Hamill's tweet. So he says, "I adore Hamill deeply, but I wish he understood the tides and tides of bullshit that this kind of thing unleashes." And then he issues a further tweet just here, where he says, "Some folks seem to think I'm suggesting he's not allowed to share his opinion online or something. Come on, he's allowed. I welcome his wistfulness. But this image is one that's gone around the CG, GG and outright crowd already, and stokes that audience, and the creators pay for it." And then after that, all of his followers weighed in and they start issuing loads and loads of nasty comments about Mark Hamill. But I mean, just who is Chuck Wendig? I mean, he appears to think that he's in a position of some sort of importance or authority. But I mean, Chuck Wendig versus Mark Hamill. I mean, there's no comparison. Mark Hamill he is Star Wars. Mark Hamill is Star Wars and has been playing Luke Skywalker, the lead character in Star Wars, since 1976. He auditioned for Luke Skywalker, I think, in 1975. So, I mean, we're talking about a 40-year relationship that Mark Hamill has had to Star Wars. Then got Chuck Wendig, who, I mean, if people aren't real hardcore Star Wars fans, they have absolutely no idea who Chuck Wendig is, to be honest. He's very, very, very insignificant, and yet he seems to think that he can even if we go down to the clarification, he's sort of saying, I mean, he's allowed to have his opinion. He's like giving his permission to Mark Hamill to have his opinion. I mean, who does he think he is to be able to sort of give his permission for Mark Hamill to say what he thinks about Star Wars? He's absolutely ridiculous. I don't really know who this person thinks he is, or why he thinks he's in a position within Lucasfilm and within Star Wars to be telling Mark Hamill that it's okay to have an opinion, but you shouldn't be playing to this kind of outright crowd. Not that Mark Hamill was playing to an outright crowd. I mean, it's just total nonsense. It's just completely ridiculous. I'm not sure what any of this has got to do with Star Wars, to be honest. It's just total ridiculousness. And it kind of like goes away from the point about Mark Hamill and what he's saying, which is that the sequel trilogy was a wasted opportunity, which I think everybody agrees. So surely everybody agrees with that. The sequel trilogy was a wasted opportunity from a point of view of never getting a chance to bring back Han, Luke and Leia, the lead characters of the original trilogy, and the sequels are coming after the original trilogy, so you would have thought they would have attempted to bring back Han, Luke and Leia. So Mark Hamill just stating the obvious about that, but what has that got to do with outright and politics? I have no idea what Chuck Wendig is talking about. What are you talking about, Chuck Wendig? I really don't understand what you are saying, what you're talking about, why you think you can give your permission to Mark Hamill to speak out. Mark Hamill is Star Wars, other than George Lucas. I mean, ultimately George Lucas is Star Wars, but behind George Lucas, then the next sort of Mr. Star Wars is going to be Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker. He can say whatever he wants. Let's get that on the table right now. Mark Hamill can say whatever he wants about Star Wars. He does not have to have the permission of anybody to give his opinion about Star Wars. He has earned that right. He's been in this franchise for over 40 years playing this character that he knows so well, probably 45 years. I mean, getting on to half a century that Mark Hamill has been associated with Star Wars. He can say whatever he wants, and Chuck Wendig just has to suck it up. Basically, he should keep quiet and he should just suck it up And, I mean, what are you talking about, Chuck Wendig? Talking about ties and ties of bullshit. Basically, the only bullshit is coming from you. Okay, Chuck? The only bullshit is coming from you. Mark Hamill could do and say what he likes about Star Wars. It is not for you to give your opinion about what Mark Hamill can and can't say. And I just have no idea what you are saying. To be honest, I have no idea what you think you are trying to achieve by leading this backlash against Mark Hamill. But yeah, it's really strange, really strange times within the Star Wars fandom. And if you get to the point where the lead actor and character of this franchise is unable to say what he thinks about the direction of Star Wars, then it just is reaching the point, I think, where the whole project is in grave danger. Actually, I think we could see the Star Wars itself as an IP kind of imploding if this carries on. So these people who have had a very temporary, very short-term association with Star Wars, like Chuck Wendig, they should just shut up, and when they do spout their nonsense, they should just be treated with contempt, really. We've got Mark Hamill, who has been Mr. Star Wars, other than George Lucas, for like 45 years, and Chuck Wendig, who hardly anybody would have any idea who the man is. I probably shouldn't be giving him this kind of attention in a video. But yeah, it's just really strange times. And again, it just shows how everything is so politicised, because I can't see how that tweet and the picture that Mark Hamill put with that hashtag, how that could sort of play to anything political, anything outright. Nothing to do with that whatsoever. It is purely the fact that the sequel trilogy is a creative and artistic failure. There are a lot of reasons for that. And it also has nothing to do with the new characters as well, by the way. There is this idea that Mark Hamill in some ways attacking the new characters and the new actors in the sequel trilogy. He's not doing that at all. I believe Mark Hamill has a very good relationship with the new actors, Daisy Ridley, John Boyega. Have no reason to assume that he doesn't. Have never heard that he doesn't have a good relationship with the new actors. What has been misunderstood about this sequel trilogy? You know, there's an idea that you have to knock down the original characters to build up the new characters. This is not the case at all. There should actually have been an evolutionary process going on with this sequel trilogy. So we should have started, and this is very much down to the creative side of the creative failures, if you like, the sequel trilogy. We should have started with the original characters were primary focus in the first film, and then gradually transitioned to the new characters, so that by the time we get through to where we are now, the new characters would have been built up and they will be able to stand on their own terms, which they are not able to because they are very cardboard cutout, three-dimensional characters that have absolutely no backstory brought to them whatsoever. We know nothing, as I've said in previous videos, we know nothing about Daisy Ridley's character Rey. We know very little about John Boyega's character Finn. So we should have learned much more about them through this evolutionary process. And as I say, the starting point should have been focused on the original trilogy characters, and then gradually we would have progressed into those new characters, and we would have learnt to care about the new characters, would have known who they are, we would have seen their successes and their failures. And that is the creative failure of the sequel trilogy. They did not have to push the original trilogy characters off to the side and sort of ruin the characters, and particularly in relation to Luke Skywalker, ruin his character to build up the new characters. The two could have existed alongside one another, and then you would have got that evolutionary process from the original characters to the new characters as the sequel trilogy progressed. So what Chuck Wendig is talking about, I have absolutely no idea. But yeah, it's really strange times within the Star Wars fandom when you get to the point that Mr. Star Wars himself, Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker, can't say what he thinks about the Star Wars saga without having non-entities like Chuck Wendig throwing shade at him. It's totally and utterly ridiculous, and it shows you the grey position, I think, that Star Wars as an IP now is in under Disney and Lucasfilm. Dark times, really. Right, we're back with more Star Wars content very, very soon. Please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy this video. Let me know what you think in the comments. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.